Go. I do believe we are live. So I'll say indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. It's nice to have you here again on another conscious evolution. Another opportunity for us to consider all of the things that people do. My lighter is or something someone else did. I'm gonna go and find out. Hopefully it was just me and I took it out somewhere. Otherwise, yeah. I found it. Oh no, I just realized that I didn't take a photo for my flower. I usually take a little photo. Today's stream will just have to not be 2 hours. That's the only rules I think I need to follow. So, how about this people we are? How about that? And how about these things we do as people? How about that? Today's stream topic is about how many things people do. Today's stream topic was inspired by having a conversation with athletes, slapping competition athletes. We went through to the joint, we had some interviews, had some conversations with two of the main heavyweight fighters. The two fighters, this one who's like the brand right now's champion. He's like the main guy. He's been in the business for a bit. He has some following. He has people knowing about him. And then the guy who's going to go up against him. And is going to be his very first fight coming up on the 31st. So we had some questions that we asked the athletes. We had 3 angles, one angle this way, one angle that way, one angle front on that was like capturing all of it. I have all of that footage with me. I'm going to I'm going to edit some videos together, get something posted. But it is one of these things where like you realize as all of these different people show up for something like that people can do many things, that me as a person is in fact capable of doing many things. And there's a certain relief, I would say, that comes over you in realizing that you can do many things. Right? And I don't know if that is like a change that has really come to us as a species, because for the longest time we used to be specialized, right? You were a teacher, you were a lumberjack, you were a doctor, you were this, you were that, and then people knew what you were, right? People knew what you do in a way. Oh, you're a lumberjack? What do you do? Catch butterflies? No, you chop trees. Right? It's pretty simple. We understand that much. But however, that's not exactly the truth of people. It might be the truth of that occupation, might be the truth of the lumberjacking. But maybe in that guy's off time, he loves catching butterflies. And that is the truth as well. And that's the point, at least, of today's stream to me, is in acknowledging that people do many things. Right? And I feel like I'm trying to call to awareness in myself, especially this unwillingness to look at people and want to understand what they do, what they are, who they are, because it's impossible. Maybe you can learn about a person by asking questions and listening. A lumberjack that enjoys butterflies. You rang. That it's so apt that you're the person who says something to that comment. Love to you, dude. It's nice having you here with us. Sending you blessings. I am cooking a bit. It's hot. I don't think it helps that I'm wearing two scarves. Yesterday I added wet to the one of them. I wish I had like little arms that I can just have hold on to this thing for me. And then I would have more arms hold on to this one in a different pattern like such. Alright. Looks like there's just these fractals coming out of my beings. What will you dwarven brethren think about such fanciful hobbies? What will your dwarven brethren think about such fanciful hobbies? I mean, maybe in this universe, butterflies have some sort of magical property. So they'll be like, oh, witchcraft. That's what. Damn, the new scarf is gorgeous. They do. They are really nice. Like, I like these. It's very cool. And this one is a little bit more like repeaty, smaller patches of patterns, but very soft in my mind when I think about this card. Sam, there's no equal or brethren for this dude. I am a solitary duck. No, you're not. Liar. Here we are, oh, together. In this together. Showing up for each other here. How about the fact that this is something that people do, you know, that we can do live streams? What would my ancestors think? Because they would probably understand that people can do a great many things as well. But I don't think they knew that this was something to be done, right? And in that way, I think another thing that makes us human is the ability to find new things that people can do. Right. 100 years from now, people are going to be busy with doing that we cannot even fathom right now. Maybe some doing we can fathom. We'll fathom some of the doings, but some of the other doings we won't fathom. Can you imagine fathoming what it's like to plug yourself into a collective hive mind and solve a problem that way, and then unplug from said collective hive mind to go about your business again? Right? And that's something that people are gonna do one day. That day is not that far away, and it is pretty cool. I think the fact that we have so many things to do on this planet as human beings, and yet still we find ourselves bored. We still find ourselves bored. You know, boredom is a lie. Don't let yourself be bored. It's not good for your soul, I'm sure. And if you're gonna be bored deliberately, right? Be bored deliberately. Like allow yourself to be bored without stimulation. I think that way you can kind of like use that bored energy as a means of creativity as well. It's funny that it's hot there. This is the first sub 80 day I can remember in over a month, and I'm here for it. Hey, there's a little lizard. Now that I see him, I accidentally stepped on an ant, and I did consider bringing that ant's corpse and putting it close here somewhere so that the lizards might find him. I forgot to transfer said corpse. I'm sorry, little ant. I'm more sorry for the lizard, because like, it would have been so cool if I remembered and put that little ant corpse down right there, and then watch that little lizard be like, "Oh, for me," and then I go like, "Yeah, something people can do, you know." That's also something people can do. Excuse me, what? I thought we had this talk already, Doug. Yeah, I think we did, Sam. Tell him. Sick him, sick him. Sick him, Sam. If we have, Sam, I do not remember. I'm pre-caffeinated. I've only been awake for like 20 minutes. Bless you, bro. Oh my God. And it's August. We've been getting 70s weather, and it's weird. Is it like a good? Like, are you happy about being 70s weather? In my universe, butterflies do have fanciful magical properties. They pollinate the plants that grow our food. This is true. They also taste with their feet. That's pretty magical, right? If a wizard told you he can like abracadabra and then suddenly you taste with your feet, you'd probably say, please no. But also, it would be pretty magical. You'd be like, oh wow, magic. And the butterflies just do like that, you know. That's how they do. According to the farmers' almanac, Sam, it's going to be a cooler fall, and those farmers tend to get it at least somewhat right. I mean, they have to, right? Otherwise, the food don't grow. I was wondering if that was a new scarf. It's beautiful. It's not that new. It's one of the it's one of the four I got from Tani Charlene for my birthday. So it's not that new. It's new enough. I've worn it a few times though. Mel, do you think this is real? I'm not laughing at you, Sam. I'm just laughing at the question, as like, is there or is there not gonna be a Borg collective? There 100%. Like without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, will be a Borg collective. Like that is definitely gonna be a thing. Yes. Simply based on the fact that we are already a Borg collective. We just call that Borg collective society. And now more recently, capitalism. All right. That is literally Borg collective. You know, all of us putting our collective brain power towards making more number. Yeah, more ones, please. I want more ones. More, more, zero, zero, more, one, zero, zero, one, ones, ones. That's what we're putting all of our collective human value towards. And hopefully, at some point, we'll stop. And in this process of becoming something else, hello, dude. Hello. Yeah, I see you. You chill, bro. I don't eat your kind. And even if I did, I'd have to eat so many of you, you'd have a problem, bro. Have a big problem. Yeah. But I'm chill. I'm chill, bro. You ain't got nothing to worry from me. He's one of the smaller lizards. I think I spooked him a little bit by moving. Yeah. He didn't run at max pace, but he did kind of like shimmy away. I read an article yesterday that ants will amputate the limbs of other ants to save them from fungal diseases. This is true. They'll be like, oh, wow, look at this. Or like, for instance, if it's a stump, right, a broken off stump that can get infected, they'll like nip it off as well. And they'll like they'll be like, oh, this ant is injured. I'm going to help them. Suddenly that ant is medic, you know. In that same way, ants can do many things too. Today's stream topic is about us doing many things. The thing about the Borg collective is that once you join, you are stripped of your identity and you become a drone. That's the drawback. Infinite knowledge, no free will. We gotta build it better. And we probably will, right? Again, the Borg collective in the Star Wars universe was a like a narrative point, like a storytelling device, right? And in that way, that storytelling device had to go to an extreme in communicating the extreme that is that storytelling device, right? Like you're not gonna be that like, oh no, the Borg, if the Borg are like super chill or whatever, right? No, you only get like, oh no, the Borg when when the Borg is, oh no, you know. So the way that I see it, at least, the future that we're heading into, is gonna be one of consent. Like we have kind of been hyping on that fractal in our own minds, in our public, you know, spheres. Consent is important, right? These companies that steal our privacy have all of these consent things as well, and we have like these terms and conditions. And the way I see the future of the Borg is gonna be a consent-based system. Like you're gonna have to want to, right? And if you don't want to, you're gonna have to be allowed that option as well. Because people do many things. People do many things. You can't try and force a person to do only one thing and expect them to be happy in that. Right? Like that's not how life works, unfortunately. We'll bid it with ad support and tiered monthly pricing. In that way, maybe it's fine, right? You only get 50% of your identity stripped if you're using the free plan. Please no, no, please. Your identity can't be stripped because there's no such thing in my mind, right? Your identity is already like paper thin at most, right? And you're like, oh no, 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 I know my identity. Oh yeah, one person says something fucked up about your hair, right? They comment on a pimple you have on your face. Suddenly, you are not yourself anymore, right? Maybe you were like, oh, I'm so happy. I'm having all of these fun conversations with my friends. I'm feeling free and open. And then person goes, how about that zit on your face? It's noticeable and everybody has been talking about it. Boom. Your whole demeanor ruined, right? Your whole way of like interfacing with the world, right? And in that way, that's identity. Both of those things are identity. And then someone can say something to you, and then suddenly your identity isn't what it used to be. So, yeah, I think again, with the technology that we have, a lot of your identity will literally be based on your actions. Like the to do day by day by day will become encoded into this technological reality that we are building for ourselves. And that will, in your memory of self, be who you think you are, right? Or will be at the very least who you've shown yourself you can be. Surely, people can do many things and be many things. So, I think we'll have even more clarity in the future about identity than we have right now, is the way that I'm choosing to say it. Because in that moment, right, like in a super advanced, everybody has a brain computer interface reality. When somebody says some whack shit about you, right, that shifts your identity position, like the weights in your identity with how you see yourself, you can literally, with that technological makeup and memory, reshift yourself back, right? In the same way that you can feel an emotional shift when you see, for instance, like I'm thinking about Kiki right now, right? Seeing Kiki on the screen, even though she has died long ago, I'm still feeling that shift happening in my identity, right? Of what I'm feeling, of what I'm thinking, of what's going on inside of me. And our technology does have that power over us. And it's just a matter of being in power of that power over us, because right now we're not, because again it is too big of a difference between the thing that you are and the thing that you are interfacing with, and we are literally as a species closing that gap slowly but surely, I think that's at least why I'm here. I'm here for that part. I'm here for the making it. I don't know how, but clearly that's the one thing my brain has been relentlessly obsessed over. I've done many things, but that thing seemed to be stuck. It seems to be like, yes. Well, you think only 50% identity loss? Not with not with the terms of service. How about your face? How about that bottle on yours? Yeah, like weirdly enough, I'm not too insecure about having a butthole. As I started saying that sentence, a part of my insecurity kicked in and was like, "Are you sure?" I'm more insecure about talking about it than I am about having one. I think again, it's a matter of like, are you insecure about having a nose? No, no, exactly. Butthole. Words to remember. Words to quote me by Mel 2024. Oh, bro, you know what the worst part is, Sam? People could use that quote in the future and be like, oh, how Melt has changed. He turned himself into a robot. Remember when he said he's not insecure about having a butthole? He was lying this whole time. What a fraud. What a what a fraud. If he was not insecure about having a butthole, he wouldn't have turned himself into a machine. Do I want to be a machine? I think I already am one. This thing is very machine. Only again, uh, it's inaccessible. And maybe machine to me means operatable at the very least, right? And in that way, I don't have to be made of metal to be made machine. All right, like if we just figure out how to, properly manipulate our own biology, that will be pretty machine-esque to me already. But again, I won't be able to go and swim in lava if I'm made of flesh. Why do you want to swim in lava, Mel? Because it might be something I like doing, Might be something people do. Maybe these people want to do that. Maybe I do it once and I'm like, yeah, this sucks. Oh, it's way too viscous. Like you can't really get a good stride going because by the time you're halfway through, it's too heavy. And then I upgrade myself to make myself 10 times stronger. And then I go and swim in the lava again and then boom. It's the most fun thing ever. I find out that there are probably not creatures living in the lava. And they're super stoked about having new friends. And they tell me about all of their history, rich and free, how they're all connected by this center magma ball, which is their king, as they call him. And he's so wide, so vast. And he creates magnetic fields that create a shield around our planet, protecting us from UV rays, being blasted by cosmic winds. What a world we live in. And people did that. People found that stuff out. People extracted that knowing from this universe. Like, do we ever spend some time thinking about that? Like the life we're living right now, the way we interface with reality has been so radically changed by having a cell phone or having a screen at all. The fact that I've seen the pillars of creation in HD, right, in higher definition than, I have technically, in a way, seen some trees, right? Because again, with that image, like I have this image of the tree and I can walk up closer and get better definition, on that bark, but that's literally like a sensor limitation. I have to move my physical form in order to get there. When it comes to the actual image I'm receiving, it might literally, and it will eventually be lower quality than you can get from a computer. What are you trying to say, Mel? I'm trying to say, I have seen things unseeable better than people have seen things seeable. And it's gonna only continue. It's only gonna continue. And probably rapidly. All right. And I hope, at the very least, that the things that people do will be valued. Even the slapping competitions. And I had this conversation today, talking with Kali. And hearing his philosophy, the thing that drives him to compete in this sport. And as soon as he says the words, I see my face in his. Because he tells me that the reason he does what he does is for love. For love of the sport, for love of competition, for love of showing up in that way. So it was kind of surreal, to hear that from someone in such a different walk of life than I am. Come back here, I say. Alrighty. I'm gonna pull a card. I was just thinking for a second if I want to pull a card from the other deck. People do this. People do this to themselves all the time. People have been smoking things for so long. And technically, that wasn't smoke. But it was something people do. What is something people do? What are you doing right now? Interesting how there's so much doing happening just in this stream alongside of us. That lizard has just scratched his face against a brick. That's something lizards can do. Like, as I said, that lizard, I wanted to tell you that lizard has been baking in the sun there. But as I started my sentence, he goes, and then scratch his face against bricks. Today's card is Sanctuary. Wait, we're drawing a card? I mean, yeah. It's been 7 minutes since anyone has said anything but me, you know. And that usually is my prompt of like, okay, I pull card. Because again, it's like a, how can I bring it into today's stream topic? It's like a thing I do. Yes, perfect. 43. And there's 4 friends watching right now, and there's 3 upvotes. So more synchronicity. Fuck's sake, don't do that, man. I'm hearing, I'm listening. I'm joking, Sam. It's not like I don't want to be here, but it's like a matter of talking to myself. I'm good at it. I can talk to myself a bunch. But at some point, there's like a little voice that talks to myself that's talking to myself. And that voice says to the myself that's talking to myself, hey, bro, I know you're like okay with this or whatever, but have you considered letting someone else talk? And then I look, and then I'm like, okay, no. And then I do that over again. And then that voice. And then by the time it's happened like a few times, I'm like, okay, all right, 4 friends, and I'm the only one talking. All of us have assholes. This is true, Sam. This is true. Refuge and renewal. You are moving so fast, you are at risk for accidents. Slow down. You'll see. That was, I did pull it upside down. So that was technically the message. Am I moving so fast? I mean, I'm asshole. Jovan, love to you. In a weird way, I feel Sam's message and the card's message was the same. That the fact that I was, moving too fast. And she was like, hey, slow down, bro. How about you slow down? I feel it, Sam. One more time. Like a nice deep scan. Refuge renewal. This green cathedral is offered as a sacred space and a refuge from the world for a time. It invokes the energy of deep connection with nature and represents a place of rest and renewal. DNA spirals connect the peace dove with the place of heart that dwells within every one of us. The double helix of our DNA spins a remembering of our divinity and accelerates our participation in conscious evolution. You have much to do upon the earth. No way. Right? Especially with today's stream topic, that feels like we talked about how much people do. You have much to do upon the earth. Realize that however in tune you are with evolving purpose, however fast you are shifting paradigms, there will be times when it is necessary for you to retreat in order to renew your vitality and reconnect with your sacred center. Set aside time for stillness. Allow a sense of peaceful tranquility to pervade your consciousness. You may want to walk into the forest and listen to the voices of nature. Sit quietly in that energy and feel how your mind is calmed and your spirit renewed. Listen to the messages that you receive in this meditative interval. Allow that simply being is at least as important as all the doing that consumes most lives. If you are unable to be in nature, find a place of sanctuary in your home or city. Use this card to symbolically assist you in evoking a sense of renewal and equanimity. Remember the emotions of love and compassion influence the harmonics of the heart and the renewal of life force. Mindfully honor the sanctuary of quiet moments. Please do share, dear friend. It's always nice to know that these topics align for you too. It is what we do. Hmm. At first, I was inundated by a sense of dread as I looked upon what seemed like the mandibles of an insect. And then as I approached, those mandibles started opening up. And in between what used to be mandibles started flowing a river. And this river was twisty and curvy, and it extended into my field of vision, illuminated by moonlight. And I was like, huh, neat. And then it changed into what I can only describe as one of those Chinese dragons. Alright, those twisty curvies became this like blue light dragon. And then I opened my eyes. And now I see, I'm a believer. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna say goodbye. Thank you, friends, for spending a moment of silence with me as well. I enjoyed that. I feel like it was long at the same time, though. Right? Almost like giving myself a moment to just be. And in that being, I feel contented. Now I'm gonna go back to doing thank you card for all of this wisdom, but also let me go do more stuff actually. As much as it hurts, it is already a weight off my shoulders. I'm going to go experience the world for a day, go out, hike, find inner peace for a moment and reflect. Wishing you all the best. All of those things are things you deserve to do, dear friend. Go and enjoy. Thank you for spending a moment with us as well. May this moment bring you peace, as your moment has brought me love. Have the most beautiful day, everyone. You're so super duper, really mega ultra treasured. Melt more than all of you. Actively awe-inspiring, beautifully benevolent, creatively cool, divinely dear. Unifyingly, vivaciously, wowzersly, xenial. Yippee! Authentically wholesome, humanimal critter creatures out there seeing things, feeling things, being things, thinking things, and doing things. I really like that goodbye message. Thank you, Xiao. Thank you, friends, for joining me. See you again soon. Tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody.